I am speaking, let me start by saying this, in part on behalf of NyQuil and DayQuil, because I'm a little bit slow on the update today.
It happens to the best of us.
I know, and you know how you hear your voice inside your head and it just sounds very nasally and everything, and that's why I've been off for the last couple of days.
To me, you sound perfect.
Thank you. And I did
great.
something really great over the weekend that I wanted to share,
Yeah.
because it is an organization that is really near and dear to my heart. So I was part of the Heart Gallery this weekend. I don't know if you're familiar with this or if you're familiar with it at home, but the Department of Child Safety puts on this event every year, which I think is brilliant. And basically what you do is you meet with some of these children who are up for adoption. It's Heart Gallery, because you go to this beautiful hotel and they take pictures of these children who are available to go to their forever families, I guess you could say. They get their hair done, they get new clothes, you get to interact with them and find out who they are, kind of write their story. And then they get these beautifully done professional pictures taken, and then they post them on the website so people can meet them. And some people say, well, this may be a little bit bizarre because it's a little strange to have kids up on a website, but really there's no other way besides fostering that you can get a chance to interact with these kids who are amazing, by the way.
Well, look, it's just the modern way of doing it, right? If this didn't exist, then they may not have had such a high chance of being adopted, as you were telling me earlier.
And it has been really successful. Last year alone, they had 200 adoptions by this event specifically.
So it's got to feel good for you to be a part of it. I mean, it must have been heartwarming.
Right, it is very hard. I was a behavioral health therapist. I was a social major before I became a journalist. And, you know, I was able to, for about a year and a half, work with these kids on a regular basis. And they are the most kind, generous, thoughtful children that just really deserve a loving family.
They're just looking for a chance, right?
Yes.
You're kind of you're getting me all emotional.
Oh, yeah,
now,
no, and it's draining by the end of the day. And but you know, we just hope for the best, and I'm sure that they will find somebody and people will connect and it'll all work out in the end.
Thank you for doing that. That's
yeah,
really
I loved it.
special.
I had to just mention that off the top.
And speaking of small children, there was a 5-year-old girl that was almost attacked by a coyote. I don't know if you saw this story, but it's kind of terrifying. So here she is returning from the mailbox after going to check it for her Halloween costume, and here comes this coyote who noticed that she was sort of turned around. Watch him go for her.
Here's where you see it right there.
So she was terrified by this, as any small child would be. Even I would be.
Well, of course.
But because it came charging at full speed, and you know what she said? Her quote.
Did she say?
She said, "I feeled its ear. It almost bited my rib."
Oh my gosh.
Can you believe?
No, and you know, as a parent, that is the most terrifying thing you can see, you know, unfold, because you can't get to your child in time, right? But usually here in the desert, we're used to coyotes being far away, and then the second they see us, they run.
Well, we're also adults, so they might be more scared of us than they would be of a small child. They thought that child was lunch, I guess.
I guess so.
Luckily, she got away unscathed. And we're going to talk about a kind of a futuristic car now. It looks kind of like
love this car.
VW Microbus.
I was telling Alex about this. I'm like, there's the coolest vehicle on the road right now. It's a canoe. And he's like, looking for this thing that looks like a canoe. But this is like a traveling living room. I guess you could say it's kind of like a compressed limousine, because if you look inside, so that's where the driver sits, but if you look inside, it's kind of like a couch. It's like a wraparound couch, so you have to face your sibling pretty much.
So when you said canoe, I was literally looking for a canoe, but canoe is the brand name. It's just spelled a different way. But yeah, what's interesting about this too is it's not going to be sold or leased. It's going to be on a subscription basis, sort of like those e-scooters.
I know. I had to reread this like 5 times, and I still don't quite understand it.
Well, what's cool about it is that if you need it for a weekend, well, you only pay for a weekend, you park it somewhere, and you lock it with an app on your phone, sort of like the scooters. So I think it's just kind of an interesting future thing. And so are these next terrifying animals, if you can call them that.
What? Are you going to cuddle up to that on the couch?
Probably not.
This is a robot dog.
It's going to choke you with its robot leg and its robot neck. So this thing is by Boston Dynamics. They're the ones that have made all those creepy robots that can like jump and walk and pick themselves up. Have you seen those?
Right, like out of a movie, basically.
They're really weird.
If you see them walking down the street, you would dive into your neighbor's bush.
So it'll cost as much as a new car, and right now it's only for commercial use. So, you know, if you are a business, a large business who has 40 grand to spend, maybe you can get one of those. It's for rescue missions, for safety, to check things out.
You want to see if your kids are able to handle a small animal.
Or if your kids can outrun a robotic cute dog.
Okay, kids, guess what we're going to do today? You said you wanted a puppy.
And those things can go fast, but something that's not so fast, and we'll just leave you with this kind of funny visual here. This was in London, and there was a guy, or Liverpool.
You got to look at this. See if you can make this out. See who he's walking right here. That's a tortoise.
Play it again for you. It's a giant pet tortoise.
Yeah. So if you want to take it a little slow when it comes to getting a new pet as part of your family.
Not going to burn many calories doing that.
Get in your steps.
Unless you go miles and miles.